Hey there, Joe at Joe's Rush Shop. Good evening. Well, at least it's evening here. What is it? Oh, wow. It's like 8:30 already. Damn. About another hour, I should be hitting the sack, hour and a half. Anyhow, I wanted to show you a couple stash ads, and a couple updates on some projects. Minor updates, but they're minor. But they're updates. I got somewhere, right? Right. Okay, let's get to the old Comet Cyclone, the Ratfink Dragster. Finally, I bought the paint for him, and I finally, let's get a focus here. Come on, focus. Focus, you fools. Can anybody tell me what Focus, you fools is from? Somebody in the comments, see if you know what Focus, you fools. Anyhow, yeah, I got the valve covers painted like a magnesium titanium color. I may go over these raised areas with a little bit of chrome or a light brushing of this gold, since the block is already painted the darker orange color. But anyhow, yeah, the one update I got. And I got the, tack in there, which they tell you to put the tack up here, but then when you put the window in, it's not curved around the tack enough. So I had to move it back a couple times, and the crazy glue kind of fogged and messed the dash up. So I'm going to have to either brush touch that the best I can, mask it all off, mask off the tack and respray it, or respray all of it, or pull the tack back off, sand it, repaint it. Ugh. Kind of ticks me off. In the picture it looks a lot further forward. Well, it's not going to work. Right there when I test fit the glass, it just clears it because of the curvature of the glass. They didn't really think that out. But anyhow, yeah, this is a big engine. Look at that puppy. I mean, I don't even have the inner fender wells in yet. Once those are in and the radiator wall's in, this thing is all engine. Once the carbs are on, the belt and all the accessories and some wiring and all that stuff, some hoses, yeah, it's going to take up a lot of real estate. But yeah, it's still in mock-up stages here. I just got to get to it. But I started back on doing these slot car bodies because I've been needing some extra cash. And hey, Nas, yeah, I know you'll probably watch this. And yes, your two little Datsuns Mini GTs are still in primer. I got to get my butt moving on those. So don't think I forgot you. I just forgot you, if you know what I mean. It's one of those things where I'm taking on more projects than I have time to do. But yeah, I will get to them. At least they're in primer. And they're small. They don't require a lot of work. I just got to figure out what color or colors I want to paint them. Okay, and as for new projects, this is going to be a slot car body. Let's get some light on the subject. Ta-da! There we go. It's got a replacement fender, and both rockers are painted black. That'll get bare metal, that little bit of trim. Most of the front clip is silver and gray primer mixed. The pan is an orange color. The body is mostly fatigued out butternut yellow. I'm probably going to put some distressed stripes maybe on the trunk lid or maybe just on the hood. I haven't decided yet, or both. Then what I'll do is I'll pick them out and peel them so they look like the old vinyl stripes that have disintegrated over time. May even have one like what I'll do is I'll put them on, maybe put some gloss or some dull coat on, then peel them off so there's an imprint where they were. Then fatigue out the rest of it and seal it up. But yeah, it's another project I started. It's not sold yet. I have a few interested buyers. They just said, hey, when it's done, let me see it. I'm probably going to, put some actual rust holes here and there maybe. But, this quarter's already been worked on by whoever has it. So, yeah, I'll dirty it up a little bit, put some streaks of dirt on it. Maybe I'll pit out the very bottom to where it looks like, hey, yeah, I started on it, but it's, popped back out since it's a project car. Then, though I'm not taking orders anymore, or having guys send me cars to do, because what they do is they pile up for years. And this was kind of a suggestion. He goes, oh, if you happen to do a such and such, I'll probably be interested in it. So, 64 Belvedere. Not quite sure how the color is coming across in this. Let me kill the light and see if it changes it any. Yeah, there it is. What it was what was left of the butternut yellow that I did on the Camaro. It wasn't enough to do a whole car, so I mixed it with some Tamiya green in the airbrush and sprayed it over. I painted this primer, red oxide primer with some black fogged on it. Then I painted it red, and I weathered that. I just wasn't happy. So I put this over it all. So, it's got a lot of layers. And, of course, I'll probably put some primer spots and some rust through here and there. May or may not do a mismatched panel. But it's kind of a minty green kind of color. With the two tones, it kind of reminds me of Andes Candies. The brown, the chocolate, and then the mint. But, yeah, I started that one. Got to get that. Basically, it's at the point of, bare metaling it all. Which, I'll be honest, bare metal is not my favorite thing to do. I usually look at kits and say, what do I want to do for a slot car body? And see, this has this molding, and technically all of this should be done. Of course, the front and back windows. I think that's a molding on the hood and the trunk, not just a body line. This molding back here. I could kind of just do some of the side windows, but yeah, when I pick these out anymore, I try to honestly go, which one has the least amount of bare metal to do when it's done? Because bare metaling is probably, it's fun to do if it works right. When it doesn't work right, it just makes the job take forever and make it miserable. But again, once it's all done, I got to clear the hell out of it so it's protected, because these are going to be slot car bodies. So there's that one. And the same guy also kind of recommended, well, if you do one of these, I'm interested. So I went through my stuff the other night, and I said, oh my God, I got a resin hood for a 55. It fits the sedan, the AMT sedan, or it also fits this Nomad, since basically from here up, it's the same car. So I did this in pretty much factory colors. This green is a factory color that I had put in a spray can for a project a few years ago. And those big spray cans last quite some time. This is called Neptune Green. At least Chevy called it that. I'm not sure what Pontiac and Buick Olds called it. But it is a correct color. And this roof is another minty green I mixed. This was just white and green mixed together. And it made kind of a different shade of green, as you can see. They're not exact. This is more like pistachio, where this one's more minty, I guess. But anyhow, yeah, it's got pre-weathered. It's got the cowl hood. I'm going to put some customer who likes it, wants a couple, contingency or sponsor decals, wherever you want, like maybe down here and a couple in the windows and on the back windows. Sanded through right there, but, that's what brushes are for, to touch that up. And it's going to get some more primer spots and stuff like that. But, yep, started the Nomad. Here's an update on the Impalas. The Bel Airs, I think this is about the same place you've seen it last. I don't remember. Same gray primer spots. It does have gloss coat, so the bare metal will stick better. Then it's going to get dulled down. I think it's about the same. Oop! Oh, no! It got wrecked. Yeah, it's about the same place you've seen it last. I don't think I progressed on this one any differently. However, the 61, I got bare metal on the side moldings there. Let's put the light back on. Got bare metal on the sides and the front and back windows. And that side, and this is side molding got done. I got to do some touching up. For some reason, the paint is not sticking on this one real well. When I pulled the excess bare metal off, it took some of the paint. But luckily, being a beater, all I have to do is, brush some primer and whatever color paint I want to use, really. It's a beater car. It's been touched up. And guess who's here? Ah, dun dun dun. It's the Deuce. And of course, he has to investigate and inspect everything. Yeah, and I got a mismatched hood. I don't remember if the hood was mismatched when I showed it to you last, but that's the progress the Bel Air got. The 34 Ford I showed you, the purple one with the sort of copper's root beer metallic pearl thing I did to it. It's still in the strip tank. It's been 1 week. I started last Monday at like 7:30 in the morning. It's still not entirely stripped in Purple Power. I've used Purple Power, then I soaked it in some floor stripper we have at work that I use to take chrome off, so I know it doesn't hurt the plastic. That loosened a little more paint up today than a whole week of Purple Power did. So I got that down, and then I put it back in the Purple Power before I left work. So maybe a couple more days. I got my Morgan Automotive Detail MAD distributors in for the 6 cylinders I'm working on. One with gray wire, one with black. One of these was supposed to be a gray cap. Instead, they sent me both tan caps, which ain't no big deal. I could paint it and weather them up anyhow. But, you know, one's for the Dart Slant 6 and one's for that Nova 6. Since these are pre-drawn, I'll probably just use the caps on top of the distributors I have. I don't know if I'm going to use the base and the shaft. Yes, I said base and shaft. And base and shaft. Those are cool. But anyhow, I digress. Show you a project I haven't shown you yet. This is something I started right after it came out. I wish they would do the, is it Mojave or Mojave? However it's pronounced. Mojave Mule, the 4x4 version of that, because that's one of the earliest kits I ever did. Probably like the 3rd or 4th kit I ever built in my life. This version came out later, and I never completed it. And as things are going, I may never complete this one. I painted it lime green, and I'm using wheels and tires, not from the kit, but from another kit. I think these came in one of the Corvette kits, or the 66 Chevelle wagon. I don't quite remember. Are they big and littles? Yeah, they're big and littles. So when all is said and done, I gotta make some hub adapters, but it's gonna look something like that. But it definitely needs polished. I cleared it and I just didn't take. I did polish out some of the roof here, you can see, but the rest of it needs a quick wet sanding and some polishing. See, the cap part of it didn't come out too bad. There's still some dull parts. See, that part's extra, came out a little shinier. And that's not metallic, that's just the light hitting the hazy areas. There's no metallic in this paint. But yeah, that's one of those other projects I started. I gotta finish it someday. And but it's just kind of one of those sentimental retro kits for no other reason. Okay, other project. This is one I decided to try more of the pearl powders on. So I took this body to work, and I think I showed you this body before. It was just wasn't cleared yet. Well, now it's cleared. Now you can see the roof and top of the trunk and hood are slightly different green than the rest. And I got the pearl into the clear. It hasn't been rubbed out yet. It stayed fairly glossy, but it could use more. But it's smooth. So basically, it just needs a good rubbing out. But I disappointed myself. Where is it here? But I'm not going to strip it because of it. I'm not going to start over. Oh, right here. I don't know how I missed that parting line, but I did. I got the one that went across the trunk lid. It's still slightly there. It's funny how it disappeared for the primer, but once this paint and everything got in there and shrunk up, it revealed them a little bit more. But once the taillights are on, which are these big chrome bars, the back's going to be hardly noticeable. But yeah, that parting line there kind of disappoints me. But I'm not going to strip it. I hate to waste the paint and the pearl. It's not like it's a priceless kit. I can always get another one. See, that side too. I thought I had it all. And I could have sworn I got all the body lines out. But honestly, sitting on the shelf at that distance, nobody's going to see it. So yeah, it'll get bare metaled out. Like I said, this video is not doing it justice, honestly. It's a lot deeper and glossier than what looks. And there's Mitzi. Say hi to Mitzi. But yeah, once it's rubbed out, it'll look even better. But yeah, that's that. The old 50 olds. It's going to get, I'll lower it as far as the kit will allow me. I'm not planning on digging out fender wells or anything like that. I'll just put it as low as I can possibly get it. I got some, well, it comes with like a Fiesta hubcaps, the spinner type, but I have some others. I also got some Cadillac hubcaps, so who knows? It's going to get wide whites and one of those sets of wheels. The engine will be a combination of maybe green or a gold color, and just make it a mild custom. What they call a tail dragger. It's got the skirts, so it's going to sit low. These body pans, which are part of the chassis, should have been painted this green. If I do, I'm going to have a hell of a time matching the pearl, but with the bumper going over top of it, I don't think I'll even notice. And what's cool about this kit is the frame is separate from the floor pan, so I could, paint the floor the green and, paint these a different shade, or paint the frame gold or whatever color I want and really make it pop. So, yeah, there's that one. And then as for stash ads, I spent some money and I got this one. As the first edition, I can't remember the name, Knowledge? Something like that. The orange one with all the... that one's already sold out. By what I understand, that they're only doing so many runs of each. It's all the same car. The only difference is the decals in each. So, who cares? I mean, I may or may not do it this way. I may, get my own decals and make it whoever. Make it the Ricky Bobby version. I don't care. Make it the Mitzi Dupree version. So yeah, that's Mitzi Dupree there. Or make it the Deuce Bigelow version. By the way, Deuce gets his name kind of a combination of things. He was born number 2. The lady, my girlfriend's coworker, her cat had the kittens, and he was born. She named him number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, maybe 6. I can't remember. Well, her daughter took one, and he was a leftover. He was the only one that didn't have a home. I think I may have mentioned this before, but either way, yeah, he came home, and on the way home, I said, "What am I going to name you? What am I going to name you?" And my girlfriend's holding him. I said, "We came out number 2, Deuce." Yep, that's it. So yeah, he's kind of named after a turd, but he's also named after the character in the movie. So he's kind of double duty, Deuce. Deuce. And Mitzi Dupree, well, anybody who knows, she's named after the song, Deep Purple song, Mitzi Dupree. Okay, I must have bumped the button and shut the camera off. Anyhow, yeah, Mitzi Dupree. Let's get back to that. Deep Purple song. Ian Gillan, I always thought it was a made-up name and made-up story, or maybe the story was real and the name was fake. However, it's a true story. He met a stripper known as Mitzi Dupree. She's an actual person. Not her real name, but a stage name. She had a very special talent with certain part of her anatomy and ping pong balls. I'll leave the rest to your imagination or your knowledge, or to look up what she did with the ping pong balls. However, he basically almost fell in love with her on sight and all this. And part of the song lyrics, I always wanted a girl with a name like Mitzi Dupree. And yeah, I looked her up and she's real and all that stuff. Well, anyhow, I always told myself, if I have a female dog or a cat, hell, even if I had a daughter, I think I was going to name her Mitzi. And so it stuck. I got Mitzi. I'm like, yep, that's her name. So Mitzi Dupree. And she's named after a real person in the song. So if I ever get to meet the real Mitzi, I think she's still alive, or I ever get to meet Deep Purple, any of the members, I could tell them, hey, my cat's named after your song. Sadly, it's a song they never did live, because Richie Blackmore, being the kind of guy he is, great guitarist, but when he came up with the song, by what I've read and heard, even though it's his song and everybody else in the band loved it, if he didn't like it after he recorded it or played it once, they never did it again. By what I've heard, they recorded the song in one take, and he goes, I hate that song. We're not playing it anymore. And they've never done it live. Even though Richie ain't in the band anymore, I was really hoping they would break it out. It's a cool song. It's a cool story. And it's a true story. So anyhow, yeah, I bought this. So who knows? But it is a really exorbitant kit. It ain't cheap. Hell, I didn't even actually technically pay for it yet. I took it on a credit at my local hobby shop because that's the kind of hobby shop I have. And when you're a person who spends as much there as I do, I could put things on a tab there and walk home. So, or drive home, but walk out with it. I just pick stuff off the shelf and go, hey, put this on my tab. He's like, yeah, okay. So come payday, I owe him money. I never let it go more than one pay period, though. I mean, I could probably milk it out longer. I think only once I've gone over a pay period. That's because either I had to work or I had to go out of town and I couldn't make it to the shop on Saturday. And I had to wait till following payday. And also, I forgot to pay him one time. I went in and bought stuff cash, and I forgot about the stuff I owed money on. But yeah, this is really a detailed kit. Not my normal subject matter. And I guess they're coming out with a trailer to go with these things, if you haven't heard. So that's going to be cool. And, you know, the trailer will work with other cars, but a modern race trailer. So it'll be something cool to have and, you know, put it behind a nice truck or something. But yeah, quite exorbitant. Nice little kit. I'll show you some of the stuff here. Of course, they mold some in white and some in silver. Of course, everything's going to get painted anyhow. I don't think I would leave anything natural. At the very least, I would at least dull or gloss coat it. But nah, I'm pretty sure every last inch of this thing's getting painted. I don't remember the last time I didn't paint something. Probably when I was, you know, a kid. And I had limited funds and all that stuff. But even then, I think I painted everything. And here's the decals. They give you a couple different versions for the roof thing. I guess it must have went through a couple different sponsors. Any decals I don't use, you know, will come in handy somewhere else. I kind of like the backyard leisure pools and spas. That could be nice on the door of a truck, you know, if I didn't use them. But, you know, very nice decals. So, yeah. But what I heard, all these kits are going to be limited run. But, yeah, they seem pretty nice. They seem to get reviewed nicely. So, one of these days, I'll get to all these. But I kind of wanted to run this by you guys and just show you some recent updates. I'm hoping to get that 34 all stripped down, reprimered, and repainted and repearled. I'm not sure what color or colors I'm going to go with or how much pearl I'm going to use. Like on the olds, I didn't use as much pearl in the clear this time as I did on the 34. I dumped a lot into the clear. This time I only put a, you know, I basically took a toothpick and just scooped a toothpick's worth and dumped it in there and stirred it in. I didn't put, you know, as much as I did last time. Last time I took my X-Acto blade and dumped, I basically made paint with it. There was so much pearl, it changed the entire color. This time it's still green, it just has some pearl, which will really pop once I strip it and, not strip it, but once I wet sand it and buff it out. But anyhow, that's kind of what I want to show you guys. What time is it now? Oh, it's like almost 9. So, yeah, I think from me and Deuce, Mr. Monkey, I didn't turn Mr. Monkey on. Monkey's sleeping. I think I'm going to... Okay, as I was saying, my phone shut off. It must be running low on battery. So, I'm going to say it one more time. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and tell me. Let's see who can comment on Focus, You Fools. What that is from. And, anyhow, yeah, I better cut off here before this thing cuts off again. I think it's doing that because it's getting low on battery. So, hey, thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, make a comment, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And me and Deuce and the cats are going to get ready to crash out here. And everybody have a good night, day, whatever. I'll be catching up with you real soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.